Okay, thought we'd try something new. This is kind of an upbeat Christmas song called Ding Dong Merrily, or maybe it's Ding Dong Merrily Along, something like that. But anyway, I'm going to refer you to a YouTube. You can search it. I have it written on the tab sheet, but in case it's not clear, it says Ding Dong Merrily dash Jenny Oaks Baker in parentheses Noel. Ding Dong Merrily dash Jenny Oaks Baker, and then in parentheses the word Noel. And it's kind of a sophisticated version of what is actually a very simple song, but it's still a lot of fun to play. It's a pretty elaborate arrangement there, but if you time it, if you look at the timing at 1 minute 33, they kind of break in to the traditional melody on the violin. So if you want to slow it down a little bit to 3/4 speed, then you could get a good idea of the melody if you're not familiar with it. So you can have some idea of what it is that we're trying to play here. So listen to that once or twice would probably be a good idea from 133. The whole video is actually good. It's a really nice upbeat, sort of a Celtic version of the song. But with that being said, I'll kind of start how we're going to play it. They actually do it in the key of G. We're going to do it in the key of D. And here we go. So we're starting on this D chord, and I have it with open D, first finger, ring finger. That little 3-note chord there. And then I'm picking the 3rd fret. And then I pick the open E. So nothing's lifted up yet. They're back to the 3rd fret. And then I just use the middle finger to get the 2nd fret. Lift it up to get the open string. And then to the 2nd fret that the 1st finger is already on. And then again. So all together we have... Okay? And then we go into the G chord, and what I'm doing to get to the G chord, I'm just taking my middle finger, which is free, bringing it down to the 3rd fret of the low E, and I'm strumming to the B string. We're kicking out the A string. And then with the 1st finger playing the 2nd fret of the B string, and then with the ring finger playing the 3rd fret. So we have this. Going back to the beginning, leaving that ring finger right there. 2, 3. Okay, I'll play that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Then we get to the A suspended. We're going to leave the ring finger right where it is. The 1st finger comes up in bars, little half bar on the G string and the D string. So we have open, 2, 2, 3, and that's your A suspended chord. And we just lift up that ring finger, and we catch the 2nd fret with that 1st finger that's barring on the 2nd fret. So we go from an A suspended just to a regular A, And then we finish that phrase up by going back to the D. Open, 2, 3. And we're going to repeat that line twice. So I'm going to play through that line several times, nice and slow, so you can get a feel for the melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. And again. 2, 3. One more time. 2, 3. Okay? So when you play the song, you'll actually only play that line twice before you go into the second part. Okay, so let's just look at that first part again. So we're starting with this D chord with open, 2, 3, using the open string, first finger, third finger. And that basically just stays there through that entire first measure. Then we simply go to the G chord. We play the little second fret there. And then we just drop this finger, second finger down. And that first finger picks up that C sharp and then the ring finger. So we have this. Okay, now when we go to that A suspended, the ring finger's already down on the note where it needs to be. That first finger just simply needs to come up and bar on the second fret, the D string and the G string and the B string, because after you play the A suspended, you're going to be lifting that up. So it's just like playing an A chord with one finger. And then that ring finger just drops back down, and the first finger just drops back to this. So really try to see the continuity in the left hand there. There's really very little movement. We go from this to this to this, and then back to this. 2, 3. Now it's very simple, and the fun with this particular song is to just practice it enough so you can start to play it reasonably fast. So like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, so familiarize yourself with that melody. Like I said, you can refer to the video in order to hear it. There's also plenty of other videos of this particular song, and if you want, you can listen to some of those too. And you know, there'll be a lot of additions to the arrangement in many cases, because it is such a simple song. People tend to dress it up a little bit. But what we're looking at here primarily right now is just the basic melody of the song. Okay, so after we play that first line, and then what we're going to do, let me show you this here. We're going to come up with the ring finger onto the 11th fret of the G string and the second middle finger onto the 10th fret of the B string. And we play that along with the open D. So we have open 11, 10. And that's just a little D chord. And then what I'm doing is I'm reaching back with my first finger to the 8th fret And then my ring finger, keep in mind, my ring finger is going to stay on that 11th fret through that entire measure. You'll notice that that 11 appears 3 times, once in the first chord, and then in between the 8, and then at the very end. So that just stays there. And then we play the 11, back to the 8, back to the 10, and then finally the 11. So I'm going to play that measure several times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that rhythm, da 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 da. Okay, that rhythm is the same for the next 5 measures. The chord just changes. So the first chord is this little D chord. And then what I'm doing is I'm just taking this entire little form here and I'm sliding it down to 8 and 9. So we have open, 9, 8, and I'm going to do a similar thing. That ring finger isn't going to come off because you can see once again that 9 appears 3 times. So it's like a very similar sequence of notes. So we start with that chord, the first finger, we reach back. Then we get to the next chord, that ring finger once again is just going to slide, and now we have open, 7, 7. I'm getting the other 7 with my pinky, and once again playing that same rhythm, and that ring finger is staying put. Okay, so basically what we see, going back to the start of that line there, is the ring, here's the first chord, then the ring finger slides down, and then the ring finger slides down. So we're going from this chord, to this chord, to this chord. I'll play all 3 of those measures now together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the idea? And then once again the ring finger is going to slide down, and we'll have this open, 6, 5. Now this one's a little bit of a stretch, and if you can't do this one, I can give you another way to do it, because we have this, and then we're going to the 3rd fret of that B string, and you really kind of got to reach out for that. Like that. And we want to try to keep that ring finger down. Now you need to tell me if that's not possible for you. Because we can change it if it's too hard. So what we have here, you'll notice through those 4 measures, is we have this open D in every one of those chords. So we're going from this chord, we play the notes, then we go to this chord, then we play the next chord, 0, 7, 7, and then 0, 6, 5. So you can hear there's a little dissonance there on that 0, 6, 5 chord. That's intentional. So what we have there is called a pedal D, that means the D note is just staying at the bottom of all the, as the chords change, as the upper part of the chord changes, that bass note, in this case that open D string, stays the same. But in the context of playing the song through, the dissonance, even though it exists, is minimized because it's fleeting. So I'm going to play those four measures starting with the 0, 11, 10. 1, 2, and notice that the rhythm for each of those measures is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide down. Okay? So when we're done, we end up with this. We end up with our hand on the 0, 6, 5. Okay? That's what you want to keep in mind. You want to hold those chords. Now the next chord that we're going to is a G. Now these two fingers are just going to slide down to 4 and 3. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my ring finger and getting that G bass note. So we end up with that, 3, open, 4, 3. Then with my first finger, I play the 2nd fret, open string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, open. So from that G chord, we have this. I'll play that measure a few times. So that rhythm, da, 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 you see, was the same for all 5 of those measures in the second part. So I'll put all that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Then the next chord we get to is 2, open, 2, 2. Now the way I'm playing that is, once again, as you know, I love to use my thumb, so I'm just sliding my thumb down and I'm just barring the 2nd fret with my first finger, and I have my 2, open, 2, 2. And then I'm reaching over to get that 4th fret, and then the 2, 2. So then finally, I bring my ring finger, my 2nd finger up, and we have the 3, open, 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 followed by the 2 melody notes. And you'll notice that the final 2 measures are the exact same as the 2nd measure in the first line, where it has G, A suspended D. It's the exact same thing. It goes from the G to the A suspended, and then back to the D. Okay, now once again, I know some of this might be a little tricky, so you really have to tell me if any of this is too difficult on your left hand, because I can revise it. I'm just showing you the way that I would normally play it. Okay, so I'm going to play it from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Repeat. 2, 3. up here. Okay, so that could be a lot of fun to play. And once again, I want to stress that don't get discouraged if it's hard to play. I can simplify it, and it'll basically be the exact same sound, but I can make it a little easier to play. I just wanted to let you have a shot at playing it this way. But you know, everybody's hand is different, and if your hand has trouble making sense of some of this, let me know, and it'll be a very simple revision, and we'll make it a little bit more easy on the left hand. If you can play it this way, great, and we will build upon this in the future. Have a good one.